Oh, we're taking it back, people.
People don't
Back,
change.
back. Woo!
This is the Chuleta Brother podcast.
Yeah, this is not an 80s movie or a soundtrack.
Yeah. Just keep it tuned because we're coming live.
Coming live for Studio 12.
Woo.
Woo!
We got our headband and our high socks tucked in with the sweatpants.
Yep, going back old school style 80s.
What's that guy?
Back with bullies with bullies.
What was that guy's name from Electric Boogaloo? The Spanish guy?
Ozone.
Ozone
And Turbo.
Ozone Turbo here in the Chuleta Brother podcast.
Woo!
Oh,
Let's wait for the... Get ready, people.
It's coming.
God damn, thought it was coming. Come already,
Uh-oh.
so I can drink my beer.
Right now, people,
Hey, my
everybody,
pizza.
if you know the song, sing along.
Woo!
Don't you want me, baby?
Don't you want me? Oh, that's what Chuleta say.
Woo!
What up,
Man,
people?
I think this is
Chuleta
the
Brothers
best
coming
intro
through.
ever.
This is April 18th, episode 61. Seaon in Spanish.
God damn.
What's up, people?
What an intro.
Yeah, man. Let's crack
it
it like
open.
this. Woo! Yeah, man. So,
I wish when I come, I sound like that.
yeah, I know.
Coño.
Open your zipper. She knows.
Imagine you open your zipper and it makes that sound. The girls, oh, it's sex time. They should be jeans like that.
It would be cool if you open your zipper and goes, hello, baby. you unzip it.
But you gotta be careful.
For the guys, that's true. If you go to the men's bathroom
and you drunk and the zipper goes, hello, baby. The guy will look.
I know.
I always wanted you to say that to me. Well,
Oh, shit,
you
man.
only gotta press the button when you with your girl.
Yeah.
That
Hello,
shit. Remember
baby.
those shirts they used to sell with the squeaky thing?
Yeah, you press it. Yeah.
They should make jeans like that.
Yeah.
When you want to press it for your girl. Squeakers. Hello, hello.
Woo,
Salud.
salud.
Ooh,
This
so-
podcast, alcohol, is brought to you by Coors Light, Colorado Rockies, and Crown Royal XO.
straight from Canadian whiskey, eh?
Yeah.
So, people, welcome back. Like Lee said,
Yeah.
Studio 12. I'm one of your hosts, Al, aka Chuleta.
And I'm Lee, a.k.a. Chuleta Lee.
So we're known as the Chuleta Brothers.
So I'll do the disclaimer. He likes to do the first 15 minutes.
Yes.
Not
So
even 15 minutes.
instead of us
1
closing
minute.
out the show and speeding through it, let's just get it out the way, and then we can just continue with our. I'm calling it a great podcast already because the music just hyped me up. If anybody knows me, I like 80s music. I know Lee.
I
does
call it
too.
great because I'm eating pizza.
Oh,
We're waiting for the sun to go down.
18 minutes.
So people, so Lent ends officially today, but my coworkers put me on blast. They were like, "You can't have pizza until the sun goes down." So it's now 7:30 here in the East Coast. So I gotta wait till like 7:48. But sorry about it.
There you
Back
go.
to Al.
So let's go. Like our pages, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, through all those social medias where Chuleta Bros or Chuleta Brothers. You can find us.
Yeah.
Download our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, but we're almost everywhere. That's the only
And
place.
ratings. Please rate us.
Yeah, man.
It don't take you people a long time, man. So it takes us, we may have like liver issues in a few years because of this podcast.
I think so.
And all this stuff. We do this for you people. We don't get money for it. We don't get anything. So we do this for fun. And we do it for you guys. So yeah, please, if you can rate us, it doesn't take long. Anything you guys can rate, we'll appreciate it. So always
Especially
5 stars,
yeah,
always
yeah.
thumbs up. That's much appreciated.
Especially in iTunes, because I know they like seeing like when a podcast is doing good. They like you guys to leave reviews.
Yeah.
5-star ratings just for you guys to keep us there.
And
'cause-
people who are maybe coming to this show new, check out our early stuff. The Mexico one is an exciting episode. I think
that's
there's
one of
one
the best
titled
ones.
Diapers or something like that. So we have a lot of cool episodes. So feel free to check them out. But yeah, like I said, show us love on the social medias. We're everywhere. Chuleta Bros, Chuleta Brothers, and podcasts where iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, and Stitcher.
So there we go.
On to the show.
We swept that out the way, so
I'm pointing to Al. So, Alberto. So, yeah, today's episode, we're actually going to interview Albert. So, I'm going to be the interviewee. And while I do that, that's the reason I set up this episode this way. So that way I can eat pizza while Al talks.
So, every time you ask me a question, I'm going to do like 21 Savages. Just say, a lot.
Oh,
a lot.
You
a lot.
You ain't going to say shit.
But, don't call me 21
Put respect
Savage.
on my name.
Call me 41 Tranquilo. I'm not a savage.
41 Tranquilo.
And I'm 41.
41 Tranquilo.
So, if I was ever a rapper,
yeah,
you know, like trap, or even Latin trap, you know,
yeah.
Bad Bunny want to feature me in one of his songs, or even El Alfa.
Yeah,
my rapper name is gonna be 41 Tranquilo. That's it.
Tranquilo,
Once I become famous,
I'll be tranquilo,
I'll come up with a liquor bottle. 41 Tranquilo. It's so good to put you relaxed, tranquilo.
No hay los 40, aquí están los 41. And you talk slower.
Oh, yeah.
41 tranquilo,
41. Because you got to do English and Spanish at the same time. So, yep. That'll be, I'm not 21 Savage, I'm 41 Tranquilo for tonight's podcast.
So how's your week been so far?
It was good. Started off a little busy. Mellowed it out on Saturday. We went to my mom's crib. Had an awesome time there, man. Always when you hang out with family, it started slow and then it just, we stayed all night fucking taking shots and drinking. And I'm like, all these beers we bought ain't gonna be gone by the time. They shits were gone, bro.
God
like
damn.
we all like pounding shots. We were like, what we got to anything we could take shots with. We had a Colombian Trequina, we had Henny, then we bought a bottle of Fireball, and I'm like, shit, we gotta go, bro. This is getting to a point. My mom's had to work the next day in the morning, but she didn't care. So you know how she parties.
What's new?
So it was a good time. And then Sunday, of course, like everybody else in the world, all 17.4 million who viewed Game of Thrones. That was the highlight of Sunday.
Yeah.
I put every other show aside, like Billions and The Shy, and everything was just strictly Game of Thrones. There was a little marathon of season 7 that I started watching all over again. But yeah, man, we will get to the Game of Thrones episode later on. How's your week so far?
Nah, the week was good. I forgot this is that crazy, man. People always ask me at work, how was your weekend or whatever, and I kind of forget. But I know that Saturday, I ended up going to like Dinosaur Barbecue out in Newark. It wasn't like planned. Me and my girl went, ate, chilled, had a few drinks, and then went to visit Alyssa. To shout out to Alyssa and Ray.
Shout out to Alyssa and Ray.
Yeah, and actually Ray, the funny thing is that Ray didn't know much about podcasts, so I set him up a Stitcher, and the first podcast I hooked him up is with the big Chuleta bros. So hopefully he's listening to us, because he didn't really know, and I think I also hooked up Alyssa. So shout outs to them. Hung out with them for a little bit, and then from there just chilled.
So Ray, if you're listening to this podcast, every time you laugh and you're driving, you gotta do the big honk honk. Every time you do that, because if we made you laugh. If we didn't make you laugh, just keep driving down that highway. But if you start laughing and you can't stop, you gotta go. Bah, 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 bah.
So we did that, and then Sunday did brunch in Sabor. I'll get back to Friday because we all actually hung out.
Yeah.
So we did Sabor Friday. Sunday, and then So Sunday did that. They did brunch, and then I went to Pier 115, had a few drinks there, and then came back to the crib, and we'll get into the Game of Thrones in a little bit.
Yeah,
did the same thing like Al did. But Friday night was 80s night.
That's why
and that's why the podcast started off with 80s. So hit up 230 for Fifth. They had like an 80s, 90s. One of the things I like to go to. It's always that place you got like for at least for myself. You got to warm up.
Take a shot for that.
Take a
80s
shot.
party.
Woo!
There you go.
Oh my
gosh, it's strong.
Hell yeah. So, listen, for that party, got there, and at first you go in, it's like a lot of old people.
Yo, it feels like we're the youngest ones.
Yeah, it makes me feel young. So I think that's the reason we go there. Then you're like, okay, I'm like, damn, this is a little bit weird.
Because you're sober.
Yeah, but then you start drinking, and we took it old school. I think because it was 80s, we were like, let's go back to our past.
Oh, my God.
So we actually drank Long Island iced teas. Because I think I had like a Jack and Ginger, and that shit was...
I started with beers.
And the drinks are pretty expensive there. So the
good thing he has good prices for like those 4 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah, but so we had Long Island iced teas to get the party started and fucking not deal with the thing. And yeah, it was fun. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy like people expect or stuff like that. It was just like people having a good time, listening to 80s, like good music. At least that's what we like. Like we love growing up in the 80s. I mean, like around that time in the music.
And you know what's funny is that back in the late 80s, I was probably 10, 11, and early 90s, you're not into it because you're hanging out in the streets and you want to listen to what your friends are listening to, hip hop.
Yeah.
Not even merengue, salsa, whatever. You just want hip hop on R&B. Then you start getting a little older in your high school age. You still listen to that. Then when you're in your 20s, that's when you start realizing, that 80s had great hip hop. It had great pop. It had everything. Rock.
Great.
Anything you could think of. Yeah. 80s music. And it's 2019.
Great ballads.
2019, and people still going or listening to 80s music.
Yep.
And when the 90s, you will watch MTV and you will know who's Madonna, Michael Jackson, George Michael. But you won't know of the other 80s acts if you don't listen to it.
Yeah.
So, but these are music that if you go to a dentist's office, you'll hear, or if you're in the elevator, you will hear.
Supermarket.
And it stays in your mind, and you'll be like, oh, this is 80s music, and you keep going. So, like Lee was saying, it was like an older crowd. I'm not saying you could go dress or whatever, but it's really...
Yeah.
It's like you going to a bar, you're chilling, and the music is great from beginning to end. I couldn't complain about that DJ one bit.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, there's always a time. It's funny, we got there, I was like, it looks whatever. Maybe we won't hang out here late or whatever. But then, later on, a few minutes later, for some reason, every time we go to this 80s party, we find ourselves jumping.
And then it's the Long Island kicking in.
It's the Long Island, or it's either like a rock song by Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
This time, I think it was Bohemian Rhapsody. When they sang that, everybody sang it together. That was fun.
And... it was everybody air guitaring. I've
never
seen so many people.
Yeah, everybody air guitaring. Fun vibe. It was cool. And man, that was the 80s party. And then Monday, couldn't connect with my boy Milton, who listens to the podcast. So shout out to Milton.
Shout out to Big Mil.
Caught up with him. I here Sedona, had a few beers with him and stuff like that. So we were talking about maybe doing a Boston trip at some point and stuff like that. But so that was cool. I mean, pretty much the rest of the week has been, for me, it's been countdown. It's been counting down for this day to finally eat pizza.
You're like Rocky training to fight Clubber Lang.
Yeah, so in the podcast, I already ordered the pizza, so you're probably going to hear the door and all that stuff. And you're going to probably hear us eating, but we keep it raw. Like, that's the way the podcast is. So at some point... Because I'm supposed to ask Al questions, but if I have to take a shit, I'm gonna let you motherfuckers know because I haven't ate pizza for a while.
But I'm not taking the computer and the mics in there.
Nah,
I
would just freestyle.
We might just have to pause and call it a day because I'm not going in there. Fuck that shit. We do the podcast, but I love you guys, but not that much. Or we could just Skype and we could be in there. You're out. And then we go from there.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Let's get